Hey, here I am. I'm in Messina, New York, which is the site of the last qualifying tournament for the Major League Fishing Tacklewarehouse Pro Circuit. Uh, this is like always the last qualifying tournament's always like the biggest tournament other than the championship because there's a lot on the line. I'm here to try to qualify for that championship. I'm here to try to win the tournament. And I'm here to try to win some money. And if I can do all that and have some fun at the same time, that's even better. The tournament itself, this is people have labeled this stretch of the St. Lawrence River as the greatest smallmouth fishery in the world. This is my first time here, and I would have to say that has yet to show itself to me. In fact, my practice, we get 2 days of practice. My practice was very, very poor. So needless to say, this river is not showing out to be the world's greatest smallmouth fishery of all time. It is, there's any number of places I could go think of where I can do much better than what I've done the last 2 days. Just as an example, the first day of practice, I caught 4 fish for about 8 pounds. And yesterday, went at a limit yesterday for maybe like 12 pounds. That's no good. You got to have, you got to be catching some big fish out here to even cash a check. So, to cash a check here, you're probably going to need 17 pounds a day, maybe a little more. We'll see. There's always surprises in fishing, which is why it's so fun. But what I caught in my 2 days of practice is terrible. So, and I'm not really sure why, because it's no secret as how to catch the fish out here. So, and I covered a lot of water. I didn't waste a whole lot of time. I've got smallmouth baits I got a lot of confidence in, whether it's the Great Lakes smallmouth fishing or Northwest Ontario or wherever. There's the things I'm doing that I think work. The fish just aren't cooperating, or I just haven't got into them. But we'll see. And there's a lot of information on the internet on this place, and I've looked into a lot of it. Really, there's this lake, there's no surprises here. I should be catching them better than what I am. I don't understand it. I don't get it. So the weather we have coming up tells me that I should probably fish deep. We got a lot of cloud cover and rain predicted for the first couple days of the tournament. And if that's the case, the shallow bite might be kind of tough. So I'm going to probably fish deep most of the time. I might check some shallow fish if I have to, or if I think I need to or want to, but mostly what I'm going to do is deep. And this tournament can be one shallow, it can be one deep. So I'm going to try to do deep. And the first day of practice, I fish shallow most of the time, probably 3/4 of the time. And then the second day I fish deep like 3/4 or maybe even like 90% of the time. So in practice I tried both and neither one worked. So I'm gonna have to build something tomorrow, which is why maybe this is where I'm making a mistake, but I've chose to fish on what would be considered the lower end of the system, down around Messina. Supposedly the fishing is much better if you drive an hour or more upstream towards Lake Ontario. Supposedly the fishing is better up that way. However, there's 20 bags caught around here all the time in this lower end around Messina. So there's no excuse for not catching them down on this end. And I'm gonna and here's the whole part of my strategy, being that I've never been here before, so we got 2 days to practice. So my 2 days, I figured I'll fish down here around Messina, Waddington, down in the center of the system. And the strategy on that is because if in those 2 days I'm not able to put enough together, well, then I can still make use of the actual tournament hours to do some more practicing and to do some more, what's the word I'm looking for? To just do more trial and error until something clicks. See, now, had I done all my practice fishing up by Lake Ontario with the long runs involved, by the time I would fish my spots that I did find, I may not have time for adjustments. So by staying closer, I have a little more afforded time to make adjustments and scout some new water if need be. So I felt like that was the best way to go for me. Now, if the bite's like totally on fire by the Lake Ontario up on that end, well, I'm missing out. And that's just the way it is. So anyhow, let's see, tomorrow our takeoff time's at 6:30. My check-in time is, I'm right in the middle of the pack, so my check-in time will be 4 p.m. Eastern. You can find tournament coverage at majorleaguefishing.com. Look under the Tacklewarehouse Pro Circuit icon or button or whatever on your computer, and that should lead you to the coverage for this tournament. So again, I'm here because I love the sport. I'm here because I want to make the championship. I'll be doing everything I can to get there tomorrow, which some of you may be wondering, where am I in the Angler of the Year standings for the points, and where, because what they do is they take the top 50 in the Angler of the Year points, and those fishermen go into the championship. So where I'm at right now is 26. I think I was 40 something points ahead of the cut line. So a disaster tournament, I feel, would take me below that cut line. Any sort of, finish higher than, say, 80th will probably keep me above the cut line. At the same time, I want to get a check. I want to make some money here. So that's always important too. They pay down, I don't know what they're paying to here. It's usually around 75 to 80 places, depending on the number of competitors. Number of competitors is generally anywhere, this year has been 158 to 160 or a little over. So anyways, basically about half the field gets paid, just about. So, and I want to be in that half that gets paid. But things are going to have to fall. I'm going to have to put some things in place tomorrow that aren't in place right now. But that's okay. I've done that before, and sometimes I put those things in place on tournament day, and sometimes I don't. So the one thing I can be certain of is have my equipment prepared, have my mind prepared, eat well, sleep well. Physically, I'm in good shape. Those are things I can control, and I can control how I prepare for this tournament, research the tournament, and I've done all my homework. So I've done everything I can. Now I just have to go out, make good decisions, hope the fish don't get unhooked, because I've done a lot of work on that too in the last few weeks back home. I've done a lot of work on technique, playing with things as far as hooking percentages, and we're really working with the drop shot technique, really trying to figure that out. What do I have to do to increase my percentages for hookups and put them in the boat? So I've been playing with different hooks, been playing with sinkers, been playing with just a lot of different baits. So I feel like I'm as prepared as ever. It's just having 2 days of practice for 90 miles of river. just a little, it wasn't enough, I guess. But still, this is the world's greatest smallmouth fishery, according to many. So a person should be able to go out here in one day and have a good idea as far as how to catch at least 17 or 18 pounds of bass and do it. So I'm just going to have to go out and do it tomorrow. And we will check in tomorrow after my first day's monster catch and give you that report. Over and out from inside this old decrepit camper of mine.